As you probably already know, Georgia quarterback Carson Beck has a chance to have one of the best seasons of any Georgia quarterback in program history ever. After a fantastic season last year, Carson has a chance to lead Georgia to a national championship, maybe win a Heisman Trophy, maybe be a top pick in next year's NFL draft, as well as climbing the all-time ranks where Georgia quarterbacks stand, right? And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about in this video. Where does Carson Beck stand right now, all time in Georgia Bulldog, history at quarterback? And with a good season, where could he end up, right? I think it's pretty clear that Stetson Bennett is the best Georgia quarterback of all time. And then you start going down the list. There's been a lot of good ones, right? Especially in the last 20 to 25 years. Some fantastic ones. But where does Carson Beck sit, right? He's obviously behind Stetson Bennett. He's behind guys like Aaron Murray, David Green, Matthew Stafford. I think, he'll probably pass Jake Fromm. I mean, he's only been starting 1 year. Jake Fromm was a 3-year starter. Led them to, the big Rose Bowl victory, SEC championship. From a talent perspective, Carson is better than Jake Fromm. But, you can look at this a number of different ways, right? The best quarterback to ever play at Georgia is obviously Matthew Stafford, right? But he wasn't the best Georgia quarterback because he was thrown into the fire as a true freshman and had to start 06, 07, 08. Now, he did get better, and he obviously flashed elite arm talent that got him drafted #1. But Matthew Stafford is not, probably not even a top 5 Georgia quarterback as far as production, what they've been able to do. And again, not his fault. He was the best. He's still playing in the league. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. And Stetson Bennett took over the starting job at like 22, 23, right? I don't know if that's the case, but Matthew had to start at 18. But for the young Georgia fans who probably didn't watch David Green was very good. He was not an NFL quarterback. He did not have elite arm strength. He was somewhat mobile, but he wasn't beating anyone with his legs. Occasionally, he could pick up 5 yards on a 3rd and 4, but he needed a lot of room to run. But David Green was a leader. He started, 4 years starter, had the record at Georgia for passing yards, threw for 11,528 yards. And then Aaron Murray came, and he was a 4-year starter, and I think he still holds the SEC record. I mean, if we're talking straight numbers, Aaron Murray's the best, right? If we're talking talent, it's Matthew Stafford. If we're talking, what did they accomplish, right? The big throws and big games, then it's Stetson Bennett. So, again, and David Green kind of falls right under Aaron Murray as far as production goes. He was very good, 72 touchdowns, 32 interceptions, but he led some really good teams. That 2002 Georgia team was one of my favorites. It's one of the best Georgia football teams in program history. I believe if there was a playoff format in 2002, Georgia could have won the thing, especially seeing how Miami lost. No one thought Miami was going to lose in 2002. Nobody thought they were going to lose. It was clear Miami, they're just going to run the table again, win another national championship. And then the officials took the game from them, gave it to Ohio State. Ohio State did not win the national championship in 2002. They get to hold the trophy and hold the banner, but Miami beat them, the officials, with the pass interference. If you don't remember that game, the game was stolen from Miami and was given to Ohio State. But Georgia could have beat both those teams in 2002, and David Green was the leader of that team, and they were playing better and better as the year went on. Of course, what Matthew did in 2007, that team also could have won a national championship. They blew out Hawaii in the Sugar Bowl. Probably should have been in the top 2, but LSU was moved ahead of them. It was a crazy weekend. I think like Pittsburgh beat West Virginia. I think Missouri and Kansas were top 5 teams. I think this is the year where all that madness went down. Georgia was playing as well as anyone in the country in 2007. Noshawn Marino was running through guys. Marcus Howard was just destroying quarterbacks left and right. And Matthew Stafford was turning into the quarterback everyone kind of thought he would be. But it happened. Well, he kind of grew up throughout his freshman season in 2006. He was very good against Virginia Tech in the Outback Bowl. I think that's when the lights started to come on a little bit towards the end of that freshman year, led them to a come-from-behind victory against Georgia Tech. And then 2007, Matthew took that team and they lost a couple I think they lost to Tennessee and South Carolina in 07. If I got that wrong, let me know in the comments section. But towards the end, nobody was playing better football than them. And they could have won it all. 2012, obviously, they were the second best team in the country. They were one play away, 6 seconds away from being national champions that year. They beat Alabama. They would have just thrown Notre Dame into the ground, into the ocean. They would have sent them back to Dublin, Ireland. They would have just destroyed them. The national championship was played in Atlanta, Georgia that year, and Aaron Murray was fantastic. He made some big-time throws, and I don't think Aaron Murray gets enough respect. We didn't win a national championship, at Georgia or anything like that, but he was a really good player. Again, 1,300 yards. 13,000 yards. 13,166 yards. Crazy. I still think that's an SEC record, unless Missouri's old quarterback broke that. Or who am I? Not Missouri's quarterback. Who am I thinking? The guy. Bart Dunn. Someone mentioned in the comments section. The kid at Mississippi State. Kid at Mississippi State who's somewhere else. Will Rogers. It's only 30 seconds. Is it Will Rogers? Will Rogers. Yeah. I think he holds the record now. I'm getting off track. Where does Carson Beck go? Because last year, Carson Beck was very, very good. Very, very good. Just under 4,000 yards passing. 24 touchdowns. Could have been a lot more, but they were running the ball through teams towards the goal line. So that kind of hurt him a little bit. If he wants to win the Heisman Trophy, you're going to have to get into the 30 to 40 touchdown range, which is possible with the weapons that he has and the offensive line in front of him. But if he has a massive year, leads Georgia to a national championship, maybe wins a Heisman, or even if he's in the discussion, even if he's a finalist like Stetson Bennett was, he will go down as one of the best to do it. Right now, Carson Beck is number 9 all-time in passing at Georgia. He's only started 1 year, and he's number 9 all-time in program history behind Mike Bobo. If Carson Beck does exactly what he did last year, let's say a little better, right? If he throws for 4,000 and I think 2 yards, he will be number 4 on the all-time list. He will pass Stetson Bennett. As far as passing yards go all-time, it's Aaron Murray, David Green, Eric Zier at number 3. He might be a top 10 all-time Bulldog quarterback. I know he has been, but if Carson Beck and eventually Eric Zier will be pushed out of the top 10 because there's so many good quarterbacks coming in and will come in. As long as Kirby Smart's at Georgia, they're going to have a really good quarterback, and they're probably going to have a 5-star committed at some point. Consistently, they're going to have 4- and 5-star quarterbacks eager to come to the program. Stetson Bennett's number 4 in passing yards all time. And then Jake Fromm at number 5. Matthew Stafford 6, Quincy Carter 7, Mike Bobo 8, Carson Beck 9, and old Buck Bellew coming in at number 10. DJ Shockley 11, Hudson Mason, oh yikes, number 12. Not a good quarterback. Whatever. This is not about him. He's not coming anywhere near the list of all-time great ones. But I get it. Playing quarterback's tough. Really tough. As far as touchdowns go, Aaron Murray, number 1, 121. People forget how good that dude was. He didn't have his senior year, 2013, not his fault. Injuries all over the place. Dude was throwing to Rhett McGowan. Rhett McGowan against the Gators. Biggest game of the year, 4th quarter. I think he caught a pass against the Gators. Maybe it was that year in 2013 because Florida was bad too. Really bad that year. Anyway, God, what was I saying again? What was I saying? All time, Stetson Bennett's number 1. In my opinion, probably Aaron Murray. Then David Green. But Carson Beck has a chance to be right there with those guys. But, of course, talent. Who was the best? It's Matthew Stafford. He was the most productive. As far as stats go, it was Aaron Murray. Who did the most, who accomplished the most, who did his job the best. That was Stetson Bennett. But Carson Beck is going to make a big name for himself sooner than later. Again, he's coming off one of the best seasons any quarterback's ever had in 2023. He is going to be better next year. He's got weapons all over the place. I think he is bound for a monster season. And if he does have that monster season, we're going to be talking about Carson Beck being one of the best Georgia quarterbacks of all time. What do you think? Drop a comment in the section below. Sorry for my brain fog a little bit in this video, but you know, it is what it is. You got to roll through it. Thanks for watching this video. You can read more about this over on Dawg Post. We appreciate y'all watching the videos, but we want to see you over on the website. Thanks for watching this one. Hope to see you on Dawg Post.